under my belt now. But yeah, I'm still playing club with everyone else my age. I play for Baltimore Union, so that's going good there. And then I go to Falston High School, where we went to state finals last year, and we're hoping to follow that up again this year with another good season.
So, first, Baltimore Union. It's a good team. It's a good team. I don't know what team you're playing on, but when I coached, they're always tough. But I'm just gonna let y'all know this right now. I forgot to go hit live. So the first couple seconds, the beautiful
Hell
intro
yeah.
we did. You know we're back. You know we're back. Uh, Welcome in everyone. We have Austin. We have Jordan Finney. You just heard all about Jordan before you even know who he was. So this is a perfect start to the day or the evening. Uh, but since we know who we are and we got a little bit of background on you, let's talk UPSL, right? Bowleys, Austin. How many seasons is it now?
This is season number 3 we're entering.
There you go, season number 3. Now you just played your first match against DC Hyper, the return of the two-time DMV North champion. You played them. How you feeling?
I feel great. It wasn't the prettiest game, obviously. I think we camped in our own box for a majority of it, but good teams find a way, and somehow we were able to put 2 past them and get the job done. So I feel good. Big 3
Like,
points.
I mean, hey, yeah, you take 3 points any day of the week, and whether it's by one goal or half a goal, as long as it's a goal, right? But I mean, you say defensively, you guys are a defensively sound team, so I
Yeah.
mean,
There's
I
no
guess
shame in it. There's no shame in it whatsoever. I mean, like, the way they played, because they are a very good, technically sound team, if they are playing through the middle, our best chance is probably to clog the box and then try to hit them on the break. And, that's what we ended up doing, and it worked out. So, yeah, I've got no shame in it. It's just, for the people, the football purists, they probably didn't enjoy it as much.
yeah, but you got to win them somehow. So it's all good. It's all good. But I mean, first goal of the season is by none other than Mr. Eric Gawaz. It's fantastic, right? You can't write it better, right?
Right. 2 guys who have been there from the jump, Guads, and then our all-time leading goal scorer, Greg Adams, scoring the second. So it really shows, like, the way we've built this group is those guys who were around from the jump have stayed on and continued to push this team forward. So it was great to see.
Finney, I'm not sure if you were there at the game, but what were your reactions from watching it?
Um, I immediately, like during warm-ups, immediately sensed a different feeling going into this year than last year. New guys brought in definitely helped that, but I think once the game got started, immediately going up there, getting a goal early, that helped us. I think that definitely changed the game. I think we defended for the most of the second half of the first half, and if we didn't have that goal, that's definitely a different game. But I think we held on to it well, finished it off.
Yeah, there was this run, right, that Austin had to make what 3 saves back to back, and then Copeland bailed him out on one. Watching it from the sidelines, Vinny, were you like, man, I can't imagine being in that situation, or you were
Yeah,
like, yeah, I
we
would have handled it much better.
bench was definitely getting a little stressed, but handled it well.
Austin, how about you? What was your perspective on that?
I'm like, I I don't know. These past 2 seasons, our backline has been pretty resolute to the point where I don't know. I look at a whole season and I'm like, oh, I probably made 2 or 3 good saves in the whole season. Whereas like last night or Monday night, I was getting a little bit more bombarded than normal. But also our backline was still dealing, so I think they're just a good side, and that's a testament to them. But yeah, I was definitely stressed in that moment, hoping for a second goal, and then we finally got it.
Yeah, it was it was definitely something to watch. But I mean, y'all added your defense was already good last season, right? And your defense was good the season before that. Ever since I've seen you guys play, I've seen that you guys have a good defense. And then you go and add Dangler to the back line. Like, it's crazy. What else could you do in that back line to improve it?
Maybe bring in Kyle's brother Jake, who's playing for Boise in USL One. But yeah, it's definitely I think the big thing going into the season was adding depth, where now we have a rotation of a couple guys that can kind of fill in across that back line. Chris Yoakum's been out injured for a few months now, and he's just getting back. So, in the past, that would be massive blow. It is still a blow, missing a leader like Chris on the field, but also he's able to work his way back with somebody like Blake Hoskins stepping in and putting in a shift at right back, because now we don't need to rush Chris back because we have very solid players that can fill in. So it's really just a solid squad all around.
Yeah, I was glad to see he made his way back onto the field later on in the game, and he looked solid, right?
Mhm.
But Hopkins did a phenomenal. He had some pacey players he had to play against. El Said was absolutely just up and down that field. Both flanks, actually. He switched midway through the game, and then he switched back. I was like, my goodness. Both of those wing backs, or right and left back for you guys, were absolutely running up and down that field.
Mm.
All right, so Jordan, I want to talk to you a little bit because you're now on the UPSL roster. For those who don't know, you were there the game with DC Hyper, but you obviously have to practice against the guys you're cheering for that score. So, what's it like going up against a Greg Adams or a Bryce Baker or even a Peter Gonzalo?
At first it was difficult, getting used to dealing with that. It was rough, but now I've gone from, in the beginning it was just, okay, this practice, can I hold my own, maybe get a good save here or there, and just get through it. And now it's when we're playing small side and we're going 11s, can I make a difference here? And I think it's definitely helped take a step in my game. And then when I go back, play against high school club, definitely helps there with being able to say, all right, well, if I can save a shot from Bryson Baker and Greg Adams, why can't I do it against the 17-year-old?
So you don't have to say a name, but is there a player you're like, yeah, I got you figured out, and you have a little, I guess you could say you have him a little bit in your pocket?
I'm gonna say Greg Adams. Greg Adams, he likes to take a little cut, and once he takes the little cut, you can deal with it. I'm gonna shout out another name here.
Do it.
Stephen Copeland.
Oh no. So I didn't know Copeland was going up like that, but that's good.
He refrains from doing it because he's scared, but when he does, it is locks.
That's hilarious. Austin, what do you see when you're at practice? Do you have you seen the growth and you're like, yeah, he's got it figured out or he's ready? Right?
No, he spends most of the time picking the ball up out of the back of the net. No, but seriously, I noticed this when I first got to college, where players take shots just much quicker. It's less of a backswing. It's less of a wind-up. The shots come at you quicker, and you have less time to react. And Jordan, over the course of the past year and a half, has truly taken a huge stride in his game to the point where he is hanging in with these guys. And I know he's going to be better off for it when he does go to college, because he won't need that adjustment period that a lot of freshman goalkeepers need to deal with those better shots. So Jordan's definitely he's taken a big step, and now we're to the point where we're competing in training, which is really nice. Having somebody that'll push me and I can push him, and we learn off each other a bit.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. It definitely helps the team grow. Jordan, when you go back to Union, how I don't want to say how easier it is, but obviously the level is different. So do you feel it like, yeah, this isn't really challenging anymore, or is it like there's some players that are like, yo, you could play UPSL?
From my standpoint, at first I would have, say, 2 practices a night. I would go from Union to Bowleys, and it would be like, all right, the level is completely different. But now I can take the knowledge I have and say, okay, these are what these guys are doing, and this is the level they're playing at. Can I help my teammates implement this so that if I take what I have learned from all these guys that have played at such a high level and can help my teammates build up our level, it's just better for everyone.
That's awesome. right there. I see why you like them, Austin. So let's talk about the division, right? This division that you guys are in is absolutely crazy. I mean, you have the teams that you're familiar with, like the MSIs, the Bridgeports, the MoCo, but now you're going up against Arlington, Virginia Dreams, Los Toros, Dorados, and then the return of DC Hyper. I don't know if you guys got the chance to play against DC Hyper when they were playing, but um, what do you think of your division, man? Is it the best one you've competed in?
This is probably the best conference in all of America, I would say. There are dominant teams elsewhere, like the New York Renegades are always dominant, and some of the teams from Florida. But like in terms of bang for your buck, every game being competitive, this is probably the most competitive division in America. I think anybody in our conference would say that, and it's actually what we wanted coming in. Some of the guys on my team, Chris Yoakum, Chiben Wessa, we played for the same club, FC Inter-Atlantic, back a few years ago. And when we were competing in that conference, it was all up and down the East Coast. We were traveling down to Lynchburg to play, or just some of the local Maryland teams, but it was huge and it was so competitive. And that's what we wanted when we came back. So now that we are in this division, it's exactly where we want to be. When we made the national playoffs, not this past season, but the one before, I was upset that we were traveling upward to PA instead of downward to Virginia, because I'm like, this is where the best teams compete between these two states and the district. Like, that is where we want to be. So I'm so pumped for this season. I know it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be tough. Making playoffs is an accomplishment in this division, and I'm just happy to be competing in it with the best teams.
It's and just for everyone's awareness, it's 6 teams in this division moving forward, right?
10.
10 teams.
Yep.
And so 2 teams are left out. That's
it'll be top 6 make.
top 6.
Oh yeah, top 6 make playoffs. So.
Oh, so I was right. You made me tell a lie.
I thought you said there's 6 teams in the division. No, 10 teams, 6 make playoffs. Yes.
Got it. So I mean, that's a tough 6, like, because you're either looking at the newcomer, the Hub City, to make a big impact, or you're asking a elite team to not make it. This is going to be a fun season for you all. Mm-hmm. Every game is going to be like a playoff caliber match. Finney, if you had your pick, which team would you love to play?
MSI.
Oh man, I this weekend, right?
Yeah. I know a lot about MSI from playing against them at the youth level. Ever since I was probably 10, 11 years old, they're little kid teams all the way up to going against them the UPSL. Never really liked them.
Hey, you know what? You got your rivals, right? Like, you want to make sure you play your rivals and show up for them. So if you do get the chance, that'll be fun. Texador's in the chat, by the way, Austin.
Got to pay the Wi-Fi bill.
Look, it's not me. I'm just saying, it's not me.
Man.
Shout out Northeast High School Indians.
That's where Brandon Texador coaches, for anyone unaware.
He's coaching there now?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Dude, this man is everywhere. He coaches, he plays street, the 5-a-side, puts on tournaments, plays for you. He's still in Bowleys, right?
Kinda. He's been unable to fully commit with us, so he's still around. He's still in our group chat. He's always welcome. But it's going to be tough, especially in the fall, with him coaching and also playing in every Cash Cup tournament ever. But no, he's very much still a part. But
yeah, those Cash Cups are really hard to compete with. All the top players definitely want to go there, and it's a wild time. It's a wild time there for sure. Yeah. So speaking of this weekend, Austin, I know Vinny's looking forward to it. Tell me about what this matchup versus MSI means, or what it could mean.
It's definitely one that we look forward to every season. We've played them, I think, 3 times now, and it's been a tight match every single time. They were our first ever UPSL game, so there was a bit more we learned a lot from them, and we learned a lot from how they set up their team and how they, build a squad together. I've got a lot of respect for them, but also going into a game like this, we need to win and want to win. And, I'm confident we can, even though they are a top side.
Yeah, I mean MSI from on the field, off the field, they're a top class organization, and anytime I get to watch two top Maryland teams play, it's fun. But I'd much rather watch y'all play against a Virginia team and get the points. But that's just on a personal note, especially because I could brag to Noah about how Virginia is not better than Maryland. But you know what?
I was gonna say he probably feels the opposite, right?
Yeah, for
He
sure.
wants his Virginia boys to come through.
Oh, 100%. Anytime a Virginia team is playing a Maryland team, we're in the group chat just, texting each other, sending each other a screenshot of the score. So this season, please don't disappoint me. So let's talk about goals for the season, right? Not literal goals, but like what is success for you guys this season?
I would put it in two different metrics, where in the past I would look at it completely as trophies at the end of the season. Right now, I'm looking across my room. We have 3 out of the last 4 possible trophies from the UPSL, regular season and playoffs. But going into a division like this and knowing how difficult it is, we really changed our mindset coming into the season in terms of how we recruited, the type of team we built. And now success for me is making sure that this team is a cohesive unit for years to come, even if it's not right away. Going into that hyper game, I was confident, but also at the same time, I know there's a chance that we go into this division and maybe we strike out in a couple games, and that's okay with me. We're building something bigger than just one UPSL season. So my goal, as always, is to win the division. That is always going to be my goal when I put in this team because I'm confident. But at the same time, the goals for success go well beyond one season of the UPSL. And when I think about that and the success, it's how does the team operate? What kind of professionalism are we setting? What kind of standards do we have? That is more success to me. But, I wouldn't lie and say that that trophy at the end of the season wouldn't feel great in our hands.
Yeah, but you're putting yourselves in a very tough task when you're playing this division, and then they throw, oh, by the way, we're gonna go play the Open Cup. It's a tough ask, right? But one that you've built a roster, or you and the team have built a roster that could handle, right? You brought on the likes of Dangler. You've brought on Davis, Toshi Davis, which around here he's a big name, right? So, uh, what are you going to put a little bit more importance on, UPSL or Open Cup?
I think we don't know what Open Cup is going to bring. We've never experienced it before. So I think it's just going to, I don't know. I'm hoping we can fully focus on both. I'm hoping we can organize the games in a way that we don't have to play like back-to-back nights and we can go full squad. But also the squad is so deep now. If you saw against Hyper, we made a midfield change of 3 for 3. Like our full midfield came off, another one came on, and I don't think a beat dropped. So in that, I think I'm so confident in our team that Coach Strine can rotate however he'd like, and we'd be competent. So I think it's like a next man up thing. If guys are tired from the UPSL game, and we have an Open Cup game the next day or the next weekend, whatever, I think we can still compete, even if it is a slightly different squad.
We'll get back to the Open Cup here in a second. I just kind of want to ask, Jordan, we talked about goals for the team. Do you have any personal goals for you this season?
I'd like to. Right now, I am the only goalkeeper in Bowleys history to never concede a goal. I'd like to keep that going. Maybe get some minutes too. That would be nice. But yeah.
Hey, you know what? Look, that's a brag right there, right? You saw Austin's head just go down immediately. So, hey, if you can keep it up, that's fantastic. But yeah, I'm sure with the congestion, everyone's gonna be probably called up because like once Open Cup gets going, there could be a possibility half your team travels and half the team stays.
Right.
When's your first game for the Open Cup?
It's going to be the weekend of September 12th and 13th. We're not sure if it's Saturday or Sunday, but we will be hosting. So we're getting that scheduled in the next few days.
Oh, look at that. Why can you not wait till I get back from vacation?
Ah, man.
This is
You got to tell
crazy.
me these things. You got to tell me these things.
Oh, that's cool though. I mean, Open Cup for me, as a fan, is so fun because I love watching the local teams, the semi pros of the world, really get that chance to play on that national level with not necessarily a league, but the knockout tournament, right? Like everything means something. Whether your touch leads to a goal or you get the goal, like everything means something. For me, Open Cup is one of my favorite um, tournaments or favorite just general thing that goes on in the footy landscape. So I'm really excited to see so many Maryland and Virginia teams playing this year. You got to represent DMV, right? But uh, what made you guys take on the Open Cup?
Good question. I think it was my experience this past year with Virginia Dream when I traveled with them to play Carolina Core and then play the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And walking into those two stadiums, I'm like, this is a dream. This is a dream that I didn't even realize was a thing. Also, growing up, Christos had a good run in the Open Cup where they played against DC United at Soccerplex where we played Monday. So being in that, seeing that environment of Christos going up against a MLS team or being in Dream's environment where I'm like, dang, these guys are legit and competing against professional teams that train daily. Like, we want to be in that discussion, and I think it would be a dream come true if we were able to qualify somehow to get this team that we've just built out of nothing with very limited resources and people. Like if we could bring this and play a professional side, that would be dream come true.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you gotta love about the Open Cup, right? Like, it's a real chance to like experience what that's like. And you talk about the stadium that you stepped in. First of all, as a spectator and go to some of these stadiums, it's phenomenal. But then, like being a player, I can only imagine. Finney, I do hope you get that chance this year, right? But because you were there this weekend, what was it like, or how did you feel looking at that soccerplex?
I've played there a few times before, but every time it's been amazing. It's a great field. They take care of it so well. But
I know I'm so jealous of y'all.
yeah, it was beautiful there.
That field wasn't quite like that when I was playing. It's definitely in a much better position or a much better condition now, but it's such a beautiful stadium. And then to your point, Austin, how many people watched that Christos games and were inspired? That's what I hope all. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like everyone has heard about that. That's like the urban legend around here in the soccer community. So, growing up hearing about that, I don't think I understood the significance for a while until I started getting into the game myself, like at the UPSL level and in this amateur game. But yeah, definitely is something we're striving for.
Yeah, I mean, I hope every that's what I hope for every like lower league, UPSL, USL2, what have you team to make their marker on this world, because like then you inspire so many kids, so many people, so many new club owners, so many coaches to really keep this going. So I do hope that for you all this season. But let's turn away from the competition and let's focus a little bit more on the community. You're now 3 seasons into UPSL, but not that's not as long as you've existed. You've had time in SSL. You've had time to develop the club. Talk to me. How have you seen the growth in the community?
I think the biggest thing is just the excitement that surrounds the team. Every year, it seems like more and more people are getting themselves involved. More and more people know about us, and it's so funny that we go to a couple of us play indoor on Tuesday nights, and there will be kids teams that play before us, and they come off and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Bowleys! Like these are the guys," and I'm like, "That's what I dream of, being that impact for local kids." And we've had a couple times where the Baltimore Bays, which is a youth club that's kind of associated with us in a way, we are part of the same rec council as them. They've walked out on the field with us, a couple of their teams, and we practice right after them. We talk to them. We're in conversations with their coaches, and it means a lot bringing those kinds of people together because growing up, I didn't have a team around here. I could travel to DC United an hour and a half away, but it also feels, the MLS to me feels kind of fake because it's so corporate. It's so corporate. It doesn't feel like grassroots. It's not at that level. You don't get as much, I don't think you get as much passion. So having this local team now that kids can look up to and strive to be in, I think it really can turn the community into a soccer community. So it's definitely a work in progress still. Like, we still need to somehow get more fans at our games. We have a lot of fans online. If you watch the Hyper game, that stream, like a lot of those people were our people. It's really cool to see. It's just getting them out to Eastern Regionals the next step.
Yeah, I mean that is the next step for most teams, right? That do have a big online presence, and it's crazy that you mentioned that hometown hero aspect, right? I think the hometown hero is such a cool concept because yes, stars are great, the professionals are great, and all that, but being able to access a role model close to you is for me is top tier and a whole nother level because like you get to see them, you get to interact with them, and that just ignites a spark in you. And I mean, Jordan, you're still in high school and you're playing on a great team. It got to feel great, right? It has to feel nice being recognized and like, yo, that's the Bowleys kid, and he's still in high school. Like it has to, right?
Yeah, it's definitely nice. Like you go to school, you're talking about it's nice. It's brought a few of my friends out when we do pickups over the summer. Some of my friends that I'm like, I think they can hang with us. Bring them out, and sometimes doesn't really go well. Sometimes they go out and they do good, and I think they really show themselves. But it's nice being able, and then I really think the community part too. Like sometimes I'll show up 30 minutes before practice and the Baltimore Bays are practicing, talk to a kid or two, and they'll be like, "Are you Bullies practice after?" Like, yeah, like you're young. How you do that? Like, it's nice to talk to them and see like how far, especially with Austin's TikTok videos, how far the reach can get.
Yeah, we had some people coming on the stream saying, "Oh yeah, I came here from TikTok."
That's the dream, man.
It's hilarious. We got some shout outs here for Mr. Finney here in the chat. Deacon Riley can hold his own out there for sure. Hey, look, I don't know, but based on the reaction from Austin, he's seen some beautiful things, but he's also seen some questionable things.
Finney, I loved a lot of his friends. Some of Finney might be the reason we closed off practices over the summer, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's always a good time.
You always gotta recruit new people, right? Like,
yeah,
that's how you survive. I mean, especially like if you're trying to develop and all that. So you got a good connection in Finney, so keep it up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk future view, right? You talked about bringing people to the games. That's obviously a goal, but what's another goal? What is a goal for? I was gonna call you Ristosi. That's crazy. For Bowleys, it's because Baker's there.
Yeah.
Davis is there. Don't blame me. But what is a goal for Bowleys down the line? Let's look 5 years down the line.
5 years down the line, hopefully we're financially stable. I think that would be number one. We could talk about that a bit, but outside of that, I think on the field, it's really just honing in on our vision and making sure we know what we are. Because like every season we've gone in like, hey, we're kind of doing this from nothing. Like we're getting some information, we're learning from our mistakes, but at the same time, this is all really fresh. So trying to figure out what is Bowleys? Like why is Bowleys a thing? What is it building toward? Like honing in on that vision, which at the start, our vision was we wanted a place to play free to play, and also where guys feel comfortable playing to their best abilities. And that's why we love some of these players like a Toshi Davis, where there is no other player around here that's like him. He plays freely within our team because we invite that play style, and that is our vision. So down the line, I want us to really hone in on that, get closer, connected with the community. I think that's another piece, developing a fan base more. Whereas now it's like we have a really strong support system, but can we get everyone out to a game to the point where it turns a game if we have more fans than the other team. And then just turning into more of a community asset. We do a lot of things right now, especially with our sponsors. So one of our sponsors, Trellis Services, they are an ABA company for kids with autism. And twice a year, we do a camp for these kids with autism to play soccer. And it's kind of meeting them where they're at, an opportunity that they might not have anywhere else, like through their schools or their services. We're providing that for these families and for these kids. And those are the things that really get me fired up about this team. And it's that I can have 10 to 15 guys come out on a weekend where we don't have a game and they'll kick a ball around with some kids just because that's the kids' only opportunity to play. So 5 years down the line, I think we're rewriting the path as we go. Like, we don't really know where we're going to end up, but it's more, can we focus in on our craft? What can we do better than any other team? And then hammer that hard for the next 5 years.
That's awesome, man. I didn't even know you did that. So like that, those are the kind of stories we need out there, right? Those are the kind of stories that like, hey, these local teams are doing a lot in their community, and so keep up the good work. But let's circle back to that financially stable part, because I don't think teams understand, or people that come into this local level or grassroots soccer level understands how much of a one commitment it is, and two, like, it's a financial strain, it, regardless of how you slice it, whether it's you're starting from limited resources to like you have an abundance of resources, but you have to administrate it right or correctly. So if you could speak to that, that'll be, I think
Yeah,
people need to understand this.
I'd love to, and I'm pretty transparent. Jordan mentioned my TikTok earlier, but I post a lot on there about the ups and downs of running a club like this. Because when I dove into it, there was no information online. There was no like guideline on how to run a club, especially in America, where we don't know what the heck's going on in our system. So I've been documenting the journey on there, and financially.
If you want to drop the
Oh
ad.
yeah, it's Viva Stinaldo is the name. So if you look up Stinaldo, Stinaldo, it should pop up. But I'm going to be diving in depth with the finances there. But I've calculated over the years, and there's ways to diminish costs. Like, being a community asset as we are, we're a part of a rec council that helps us with field rentals, for example. And we have a really good partnership with Jersey Bird, which helps us with our kits. Like, we're very fortunate to be in that position, but it's still a lot of money. And luckily, we have sponsors that really help out. Eastern Water Sports has been there from the jump, Stretch Painting, Trellis Services, and then recently Advanced Care Physical Therapy. They've all helped out. It is still a lot overhead. For the UPSL alone, you have to pay for league registration, ref fees, player registration, which you can throw on your players if you want. You also have to pay for streaming. Luckily, we have great streaming in DMV Sports Media, but it's still an expense you got to account for.
Yeah, you do.
Same thing with athletic trainers. That's something you don't think about. And then just the little things on game day, like ice, water, food, like those are all added costs. It ends up being, well over 10 grand for a season, all in. And how you account for that, it depends. Some teams will charge for tryouts, for example, and they'll be like, hey, $30 a person, come try out for our team, which is already full, but we'll make some money out of it, so that's cool. I try not to do that, but teams will do that you have to make money somehow, and some teams will charge for tickets, and some teams will find other creative ways to fundraise, but it's very difficult to remain. I mean, I've looked at it in the past, and I've had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, what are you doing this for? Because a lot of times you're putting out money out of your pocket, at least initially, to get the thing off the ground. And yeah, we're looking at ways to make it sustainable, but I also don't want to charge an arm and a leg for people to come to our games, for people to be a part of our team. Like, I want to stay true to that root of, if you're good enough to play, you're good enough to play. There's no financial burden on you. So it's difficult.
Yeah, and that attracts a lot of players, and I think that's what I kind of wanted to hit at with you was like, is this a very big commitment financially and even time wise? Like, you're spending, not your only are you spending time to organize it, but you're also spending time to advertise it, to grow the Instagram, to grow the TikTok, which your TikTok is obviously blown up because we've talked about it in the past, but like it's such a very surreal thing that how difficult this is, and it's not for everybody. And that's why I hate when I see a team start and it goes under, because I was like, I know what that that means to that owner or the group of players that believes in the vision, and then the team no longer exists. So I hear it. I hear it. I do have a comment here though that I was. I'm assuming they want the sponsor plug, so I'm just gonna ask it anyways. And then I'm gonna follow up because Finney has a very important question here.
Of course, of course.
So BQ guy wants you to know if there's a good painting company that you can recommend.
I would have to say Stretch Painting is probably the best painting company this side of the Chesapeake Bay. So yeah, I'd say Stretch Painting all the way.
That's hilarious.
They do great work. Great work.
And then Finney, I think, has a question he needs to ask you.
How did Austin get the Jersey Bird sponsor? I got two actually, so we'll start off with that one.
Okay, great question. When we were building the club on TikTok, I don't know why I posted that first video in the first place of like, I'm building a club and you should follow along. But I posted a video, and the hook was apparently pretty good because it blew up out of nowhere. It's probably my most viewed video on my page. Jersey Bird got a hold of it. It was showing the kit process and how we were making them. Jersey Bird got a hold of it. The owner, Hied, reached out to me, and he said, "Hey, I want to help you out in any way we can. Like, we're up there with their biggest like U.S. club. We're going to be the first Jersey Bird worn club in the U.S. Open Cup and U.S. Open Cup qualifiers. So, like, that's big for them. They've supported us from the jump, and we've stayed true to them because of how nice they've been, how good they've been to us. So, that they found us on TikTok, basically. Long story short.
Oh, so get in social media is what you're saying. They're nice though. I like the jerseys. They feel nice.
Thanks.
Although I haven't got my new one, but whatever.
I got you, mate. I got you. It's sitting in my house. It's hanging up downstairs, actually.
Oh, and then Finney has another one.
All right, the next question coming from the chat here: can Jay Finn start the last game of the season?
Ooh, I think that's up to Coach Strine.
What's the schedule we have here?
I have no idea.
What is our last? I'll pull it up real quick and we can check.
Well, anyways, I'm more than confident in Jay Finney stepping in goal for a game. At the same time, in my mind, I want to compete with him and be the starter week in, week out. And I know he feels the same way, and I love that. I love the competition between us. So, no, I don't want Jordan Finney starting the last game of the season because I want to be in, but I'd be more than confident.
Right, so the check-in right now is we have a final 3-game stretch of Bridge, Moco, and MSI.
You're ending your regular season with MSI is actually really good.
Yeah, why do we have to play them twice? It's like the footballing, the overlords were like, yeah, these guys are fierce rivals. Let's put them up against each other. I think Bridge would have been.
DC Hyper gets to play Bridge twice, and I'm not saying anything bad about Bridge, but I would much rather a different game than MSI twice.
I'm fine with anyone. I'm fine with anyone.
What is their record against MSI?
Keep
in mind, we have them on tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I saw that. Perfect follow-up. I think we won our first. We played them 3 times in the regular season. We won our first 2, and they beat us the last time. So 2-1 against them.
Got it. Okay. No, that's a good record. I mean, that definitely. Look, a good local rival is so fun. I mean, I remember the days where we were just excited to watch Steel Pulse and Christos go at it.
Right.
And then now it's like, not to take away from any of those 2 teams, but we have other teams that have stepped into that shiny light, and Bowleys is one of them, and MSI is one of them. So seeing you all create that rivalry, for me as a impartial fan, ignore the jersey, it's fun. it's very fun to watch, and it creates that buzz that everyone, we should go watch this, and that's what's gonna drive fans to come see you, and then just the mentions in the community. So play MSI 5 times. I'll watch all 5 of them. Actually, I'll probably be commentating all 5 of them. But
oh my God!
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I think Wendy Calhoun, the admin over there, would be tired of seeing my emails about where we're playing and what the information is. So, but I am glad we get to play them. It's always good playing good sides, and Bridge is another one you mentioned that. There will be some blood on that game. There was a lot of talk after last season about our games, and we kind of try to remain within ourselves, but also that game's going to have a lot on it, I'm sure.
It's competition, right? Like it just
Yeah.
drives. I mean, Finney, Austin, as players, like anytime you step up against a team, that competition comes out, and then you want to win, regardless of who's standing in front of you. You want to win, but then when you start repeating that same team, it starts creating these narratives in your heads, like, oh, I want to keep this in our favor, so this team is going to become like our target, and then it just makes for a good story. By the way, I love Wendy. She's so organized. She makes my life so easy. So I'm gonna put this out there because we have them on tomorrow. Thank you for making my life so much easier as a play-by-play person. I was because there's some teams out there that their roster drives me up a wall.
Totally understand.
So fair enough. But any last things you want to say? I don't want to. We're almost at like that 45th mark, so I want to make sure if you want to shout out a sponsor or shout out the community, I want to give you the floor so you can do that, and then we can wrap up here.
Jordan, you have anyone first?
I think you said talking about Bridge and MSI having a target on their back. I think every team this year is a target for us, and being in the new division. Definitely, like the Arlingtons, all these Virginia teams that now we have to play against, that we haven't played against before, and don't really know how they'll match up against us. I think we have to take every team equally as seriously going into it, and we can't say, oh, Bridge, we know them, they're not going to be at the level that we think they're going to be at, and they can come and surprise us like they did this past season. So we always have to be at the top of our game going into every game.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I don't think that was the question Gio asked, but we can roll with it.
Yeah, we can roll with it.
No, I'm super stoked to be in this league. And over the offseason, obviously, the pain of losing in the semis last season really hurt. But having the quick turnaround and jumping into that game against Hyper, that 3 points felt massive. And I don't know, you just get that buzz behind you when you're winning games and when you're a part of a really good squad. And I'm starting to feel that again. It's really nice. In terms of shout outs, there's a lot of people that help this thing run behind the scenes. Our coaching staff, James Strine, Taylor Mason, Mark Concordia, they're all volunteers. They all help me out massively. Shout out to our social media intern, Allie Hied, as well. And then there's a lot of people behind the scenes that take care of things that we don't think of, like the kit man. I drop the kits off with my mom, and she cleans everything for me. It's really nice. Everything's fresh for game day, and she's happy to do that, allegedly. But like massive help. And then I said our sponsors, but beyond the financial like donations that they give us, all of our sponsors, Eastern Water Sports, Phil, Stretch Painting, Patrick, Trellis Services, Suzanne, and Candy with Advanced Care. They are at our games consistently. They are fans of the team, even more than they are a sponsor. Like, it's such a good partnership. And when we go in, like everything we've built this club around has been the connection, staying connected with the guys, the players on the team, and building that relationship and that chemistry, but also the fans, the sponsors. Like, we want this to be a cohesive unit that operates together. And you can feel that. The win the other day felt better because we had so many guys behind us. So I just want to thank all of them. And, honestly, Gio, all you guys do for raising the level of the DMV soccer community. So thank you for that.
We appreciate that. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Bowleys with Austin Hied, Jordan Finney, and myself, Gio Monteroso, signing off here tonight. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go follow these guys in this journey, because this season they're playing some top-tier teams all season long. So it's going to be a fun watch. I am going to miss the Los Toros game on the 19th because I'm on vacation. But
fake fan, man.
Have yourself a neutral fan here, all right?
Sure.
Have yourself a good night, everyone.